Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you find yourself in this weird, wacky world of ours, and welcome to another exciting installment of Darkness in Dublin. It's funny how time is. Or rather, it's funny how time can simply slip away from us. When it is you're doing idle chit chat, and when it is that you're doing random bric-a-brac, well, you seem to lose track of yourself in those moments. However, united as one, for some reason, those gathered here this evening, for it is indeed night, the sun having long since set, look up towards the moon. The moon is beautiful tonight. It shines with a luminescence that seems to dwarf all else. There's a comforting sensation in the moon. Your eyes lock with it, and you hold its gaze for a handful of heartbeats. But when you look away, you see the fact that you are no longer standing where it was you were stood. You could have been walking the streets. You could have been in your home. You could have been sitting on the john. I really hope you weren't sitting on the john. But you find yourself in front of a strange building. The night lit by countless stars. Your surroundings lit by glimmering torch light. And behind the grand pagoda, made with beautifully carved stone, marble, gemstones, and jade, you see a huge moon hanging overhead. No one else stands here as you stand upon a long walkway that seems to go on forever in front of the pagoda. The doors to it are closed, and we will begin our scene there. You have no idea why you're here. Welcome!
Peter was sitting on the John when no, he wasn't. He was no.
You know what, Mark, you get an extra XP because that was fucking funny.
Peter was actually meditating when this happened, and when he suddenly finds himself in a place he did not anticipate, he's like stands up and looks around, a little bit puzzled, but like trying to be okay with this. Like, okay, so this is a thing that is real now. Still a little bit unnerved, of course, because what's happening.
Well, this seems to have happened to Christina a lot lately, where she just randomly ends up in places she did not expect to be. And she was doing what she, well, normally does in the evening, sitting drinking tea. So she appears with her teacup in hand, and this is not the first time this scenario has happened either, where she's just showed up with her teacup in hand.
Is she wearing flannel pajamas again?
Yes, because it's
Excellent.
cold, damn it.
That's all I ever ask.
And her sweater. So she has on her long sweater and flannel pajamas with her tea, and she's just kind of looking like, oh, again. Well, all right.
Vince is here. Evan, is this the follow up from the other scene?
Yes, this is the second part of the. Basically, this is the first trial that you were told would happen. You can safely assume that.
Oh, okay. So he knows exactly why he's here then. And rather expectantly, he is just here to do the thing.
Um, Anna isn't quite sure why she's here or why she's staring at this lovely pagoda, but well, there's a story to be found here. So, she can be pretty okay with it. Especially if she lives to tell it.
Hmm.
Vince will look around and say, oh, right. We're here to save the Monkey King's spirit, and we're trying to put him back where he's supposed to be. Proper godhood and all that.
Christina nods. Okay. He'll say, I was on the mission to bring him back, so it seems to put her at ease that this is a part of saving him now. Like, so thumbs up.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's a good thing I'm here then.
Who are you again? She looks at her.
My name is Anna. It's a
Right.
pleasure to meet you.
I'm
Again.
Vincent. Pleasure. Again, huh? Golly. Guess my mind is terrible. Anyway, keep going.
It wouldn't do to not be able to be here for a friend. And if your mind is terrible, well, I can help with that. Mine is sharp as a tack.
Don't touch my head. Don't touch my head, please. Thanks.
But you have such a lovely face.
B.
Quickly. Run away.
Christina sips the remainder of her tea.
No.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have gotten them all aboard the Nope train. The Nope train
Yep.
is leaving the station.
So fuck this shitville.
Yeah, to fuck this shit, Bill.
So with that, I guess we make our way towards the pagoda.
Yeah.
Yes.
The lovely pagoda.
It's lovely. Let me think. All right. So, as you advance towards the pagoda, you will see the doors to the pagoda open slowly, and stepping out is a being who appears to be made entirely of moonlight. There we go. She looks at you with a very kind, benevolent face. Greetings. Welcome.
Anna will give a deep bow.
You're the ones who would retrace steps long since taken, and take on the trials in order to open, or rather, receive an audience with the august personage, yes?
Yes.
She looks down at Vincent and she says, I see. My name is Chongji. I am... What
Do you mean
say-
the god, Evan?
Beg your pardon?
God? Wait.
What about a god?
The goddess. The Chinese one.
Yes, this is in fact the Chinese moon goddess.
Gotcha. I just wanted to make sure we're talking about the same thing. Okay.
She smiles and she says, I'm here to be the first step upon your journey, because the person whom it is you choose to save is very dear to me. It was me who sent the monkey in order to go on his journey to the west, because the world needed the wisdom of Buddha, and in order to teach the snarky little bastard some humility. There's a moment when God swears at you that you just think, yep, I could worship this religion.
Well, we're in that weird state of transition, so whatever happens next happens.
Very good. Well, you are all welcome to the trial. believe that Lord Trepataka spoke to you of the trials that there were four, I believe. Though he gave you what is not necessarily the correct translation. He would have called this the test of body, but that is incorrect. It is more aptly the test of all I am today. The next one is the test of all I am tomorrow. The next one is the test of all I ever will be. And the final test is the test as he shall see me. I have one last gift to give you before you undertake the test. She will hold out 3 beautiful translucent pearls that seem to glow inwardly with moonlight, and she will say, at any time during your trials, you may ask the wisdom of Trepataka. You may ask the wisdom of Trepataka, Pigsy, or Sandy, the 3 original companions. Each one view the world in a different way and will provide what advice they can before you can move on, though each one can only be consulted once. Do you understand?
No.
She will throw the pearls to Vincent.
He takes them.
So, now then. Is there anything else that you need to know? Anything else that I can teach?
Are there any other gods or godhoods that would take special delight in not seeing the Monkey King restored to his order in his rightful place?
Oh, many. Monkey has many enemies, for Monkey was naughty in his youth.
We expect them.
They will not interfere with the trials, because they are not permitted to. And that does not mean that they will prevent you from undertaking the trials if they can.
Understood. Is there any advice that you yourself can give for such a mission? That you're permitted to give, that is.
Each one of us walks a path of our own choosing. The only advice I can give is simple. Never doubt the steps that you take upon your own path. Even if they might seem to be incorrect at the time, know that they are the steps you have taken. Embrace each step, because it was your own making.
There's a nod. Vincent will look back to the assembled. Are we ready?
Peter just gives a brief nod.
I believe so, yes.
I am.
I should point out that should you fail in these tests, your lives will be forfeit.
No pressure.
Well, that's half the excitement of the hero's journey, isn't it? You can die on it.
But every good death is recorded and remembered. Very good. The first test is the test of body. Rather, it is the test of 3 elements of the body. First is the test of breath. With that, she opens a fan from her belt and clicks it closed 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
As she does so, one moment, I just need to get it there. As she does so, you guys will see from behind her, from the doors of the pagoda, a great lumbering figure emerge. The figure itself must be 12, 13 foot high. There it is. It must be 12, 13 feet high. It is pictured on screen. And it stands in front of the door. The goddess very calmly looks at it and offers a slight inclination of her head before she will say, "In this moment, select one of your number to be his opponent. The task is simple. You need only have him step aside from the door." Who will be your champion?
Who would like the honor of going first?
Anna will look at her companions. Does
Really trying. Go ahead.
Does anyone even know who this opponent is?
You haven't asked.
I have an idea.
Who do you think it is?
One second.
That's funny. That's hilarious.
I'll make you an offer you cannot refuse.
Oh, wow.
Apologies. I had to cough there for a minute. I think that that is the Bold Demon King.
Quite correct. That is indeed Nazgûl. He was an opponent of Lord Monkey. So, as I said, the task is to simply have him step from the gate, to have him step out of the way.
Evan.
Mm-hmm.
Can I make an intelligence occult roll or an intelligence belief systems roll with my specialty in mythology to see what I remember about this?
You can make an intelligence. You can make an intelligence academics roll if you'd like.
That'll work. And I would like to spend a point of willpower if that's okay.
Cool.
I got one success.
He appears in Journey to the West. That's really all you remember. He appears quite early in the book as well. There you go.
Yeah, okay.
Those ones, though.
Yeah. Killing me today.
The ones are not pretty.
Ones are of the worm. Oh, wait, wrong game.
All we need to do is have him step aside.
Yes.
And this is the test of breath.
Yes.
can't believe I'm gonna do this. Evan,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to politely ask him to step aside.
Do
Do
you
it.
nominate yourself as the champion? Sir?
Yes, I will nominate myself as the champion.
Very
And
good.
politely ask him to step aside.
Phrase it before I do anything else.
Okay. Anna will approach him, give him a respectful bow, and politely ask, would you step aside and grant myself my companions passage through this gateway?
He looks at you with murderous red eyes. You can see that there's a pent-up fury behind them, like a bull that's just seen red, before it will return the bow and very, very shakily, trembling with rage, step to one side.
Yes, girl. Yes, girl.
Okay, that did not go the way I expected.
She was respectful.
And Anna will step through the gate.
Follow Anna. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
On that
Following.
girl's footsteps.
We'll follow. Give her bow.
Sometimes the word is mightier than the sword.
Cute little high five for Anna. Be like,
Yeah. Peter will nod like with an appreciative look, like, that was well done.
That's the most Taoist shit I've seen all day.
I did
Yeah.
not expect that to work. To be perfectly honest with you.
I don't think any of us did, but the SC worked in mysterious
you know what? It
ways.
works. It works out well. I wondered. I was just like, could we just ask?
I was going to tell him a joke and see how that worked, but you know.
Hey, bro.
You know what? Save that for
Bro, your
later.
shoelaces are untied. Yeah.
I feel like with this kind of section, going out the polite way would work out well, because looks are deceiving. Because looks can be deceiving, and if you don't want to get squashed by the mighty pig demon, be polite. Try to be polite at least at first.
All right. You will all hurry past the murderous-looking demon.
Yeah.
Who looks as if it wishes nothing more than to eat you. As a matter of fact, you know what? As whatchamacallit, as Vincent passes by him, it licks its lips in kind of slightly chagrined hunger. Like, I would have eaten you first.
Oh man.
Gives him a thumbs up.
Oh.
Oh no.
Vincent, you hear that? He thinks you're a snack.
It actually headbutts what appears to be an invisible wall of force.
Damn.
Well,
I think he's mad.
You mad, bro?
I think you might have antagonized him a little bit.
I didn't antagonize him. I said, "What's up?" Stop it. Hey.
Oh no.
Anna gives Vince a look.
Yeah.
Gives her a look back, like whatever.
All right. You will find yourself in a perfectly circular inner chamber of the pagoda. It's very, very, very beautiful. It shows scenes that appear to be the sun and the moon dancing together. I will have to leave you, unfortunately, for one moment to go to the bathroom, but feel free to roleplay amongst yourselves.
Good job, Anna.
Thank you.
More high five.
Yeah, that was well done. I did not expect that to work.
Honestly, I did not expect that to work either. I fully expected to get sent flying through the air But
I feel like these trials might be things that we'll have to think sideways about rather than going head first.
yes. And, well, Sun Wukong is renowned as a trickster. But his tricks are never malicious. They're usually meant to impart wisdom onto people.
Mm-hmm.
So
Humbling.
So I think thinking about them in a, I guess, Eastern slant might do us some good.
it could.
Emphasis on respect and not going out of our way to hurt rather than to place out of harm.
I was thinking the pen is often mightier than the sword. So why not try the pen first and save the sword for if we need it?
Mm-hmm.
Christina will nod in agreement to that.
It's knowing when the pen and sword are appropriate that holds the true wisdom.
So I'm guessing we're all connected with him in some way.
Sun Wukong? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I'm a debt. I aim to repay it.
I've known him for a couple of years. Late friends of mine are distinctly tied to him. And so we went on adventures with him and in his stead. Doing this is, in a way, kind of reconnecting back with them.
I'm sorry to hear of your loss.
Happens.
Too often in this line of work.
Sadly, yes. But if I can be here and help out Sun Wukong kind of in their stead as well, it's enough.
He is a friend of mine. A recent friend, but still a friend.
Friends are important.
They are. Whatever he might or may not have done, nobody deserves this. To be trapped, split apart from their... It doesn't... That's a horrifying existence.
Well, we're here to do everything we can to make sure he gets righted up.
I'm glad. What about the rest of you?
What about?
I've encountered him a few times. I consider him a friend.
I'm OC, sorry, I zoned out. Who are we talking about?
The Monkey King, Sun Wukong.
Oh, okay.
How we know him, are connected to him, whatever.
Okay. I've mostly heard, most of what I know is what I've read and heard from others, he says. I do not believe that I have encountered him myself.
Well, hopefully, if this goes well, you'll get to meet him.
He's really
Indeed.
cool.
He is.
He is. I'm certain there are many incarnations of his tales that blow certain things out of proportion, but there's a reason why he has the reputation he does.
Next will be your test of strength. You see in this room ahead of you a huge weight. This weight must be at least 500 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And it sits on a plinth. Next to it, on another plinth, you see a single feather. The voice will say, "This task is simple. Around the walls around you in the circular space, a great spiral staircase will form from the walls. It goes up what must be a couple of 100 feet until you see a balcony high above. Choose which burden you will bear and bear it to the top." Place it on the plinth above.
Can I Can I roll irritate to temporarily increase my strength to 5?
Yep, if you have life free.
I do think that I do.
Then yes, sure.
Do. I do.
Wait, did he say only one of us could do it?
Only one of us. Only one of you can. Yes.
Okay.
You have to choose your champion.
Peter looks at the assembled and say, if none of you are eager to try this, I would suspect that I would be the one best suited for this particular challenge.
By all means.
And no,
Think-
can I go on?
Beforehand, the previous challenge, we simply asked the being at the door if they could just step aside. Think deeply about it, okay? I'm feeling like it's not going to be super obvious. It could be that even though that stone is large and imposing, it might not be so heavy after all. It could be that the looks are deceptive or looks are deceiving again.
He smiles and nods. That was my thought exactly as well.
Right. So suggest going for the stone just in case. But if you think you can lift it, even if it's 500, then I believe in you, buddy.
he looks at her and says, we need to do this somehow. If one of you has another idea, I would be more than happy to entertain it, because I'm not relishing the prospect of trying to do this.
Perhaps we should ask for advice.
Do you think?
We have 3 lifelines.
I
3
will
phone
clarify.
calls.
I will clarify. These are 3 lifelines for the entirety of the 4 trials.
I don't think it'll be that bad. I think you should just give it a shot.
Yeah.
Well, we've passed 1 trial.
No. Okay. No, you passed 1 element of the trial.
Ah, okay.
The 4 scenes,
okay.
I think he means. The 4 scenes.
Oh, okay. I got you now.
I'll get it.
Cool.
Yeah, okay.
So wait till at crunch time.
All right.
Go for the rock. If you can lift up 500, do it. We'll be right here emotionally supporting you because we can't be there with you.
Sweet. Can I use Quint to lower the difficulty?
You can.
Okay. What is the standard difficulty for that roll?
6.
6. So I will actually use 3 Quint to get it down to 3 because I don't want to risk botching this roll.
Mark.
Yes.
Before you spend the quintessence and make the roll, do you have a focus?
Oh, yes, I do. My focus martial arts. My instrument is my body parts bear like hands and feet, and I would be using my hands to carry this thing. So, would that lower the difficulty in and of itself?
Yep, it lowered to 5.
Sweet. Then I only use 2 instead of 3.
Cool.
5, 3 F1. 3 successes. No, actually 4 successes. No, 3 successes. Because I only have 3 RTA. Right, so he pumps his strength up to 5 temporarily, which I believe allows him to lift up to 650 pounds.
Okay.
So he will head over to the stone. He will look at it and then at the feather. Close his eyes and think of, I was about to say think of England, but probably not that. And then he will attempt to, here goes nothing. He will attempt to lift the stone.
Okay. Make me a strength athletics check, difficulty 8.
Yep. Strength athletics. How much athletics do I have? I have a lot of athletics. 5, 8, yes. 10.
This isn't Peter Pan, Lindsay. That doesn't help.
Oh fuck!
We can believe. Shit, we didn't believe. Evan, why did you say that? We were supposed to believe.
Oh. There you go.
That's a botch.
Okay.
Oh no.
No,
You-
that's not
no,
a
no, no.
botch. You
Isn't
got
it?
That's not a botch. You got successes.
Oh, they were just cancelled by the.
They were yeah. You got a success.
Oh, I
It
got
was
1
just
success.
canceled
Yes,
by
that's
the
enough.
1.
I
Yeah.
overlooked that. Woohoo!
You see this wonderful moment of he lifts it. At which point you literally see him look. He lifts. He brings it back. He lifts it up. He brings it back to his chest. At which point you see him fall 180 degrees backward, like.
Ouch.
As he is currently pinned by the stone.
Some bitch.
Can I try again, but with at 9 and then just spend Quint?
You will hear the voice say, "Your champion is defeated."
Oh no! I should have made a backup character, shouldn't I?
You will see Mark. You will see Peter disappear. The stone will reappear on the post.
Okay. All right. Sandwich.
Evan.
Yes.
Mm. When they says to choose your champion, right?
Mhm.
Does that mean very specifically that the champion cannot, in fact, ask for help?
The champion can use one of the pearls to ask for help, but they can't ask for
No,
help
no.
from someone who is not in the challenge.
Oh, okay. So,
One person per trial actively.
Yeah,
So it'll
on
be, yeah.
the trial says differently. Sometimes the trials will have more than one person participating.
So so no one else can quote unquote participate?
Correct.
Okay.
I did just love the mental image of lift and fall.
Mm-hmm.
So, a thought.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't all necessarily agree which burden to bear. And the
Correct.
statement was addressed to us as a group, I
Mm-hmm.
believe. Perhaps if we discuss it beforehand and come to an agreement amongst ourselves, the outcome may be different.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Seems like it's worth a shot.
We've got 4 shots left. Just like pointing to herself and the 3 others around her.
Okay. I think it's safe to assume that for some of us, the rock will be the heavier object. And for some of us, the feather may be the heavier object.
Mm-hmm.
This seems like a test that's meant to play on our preconceived notions about things.
You don't think that it's just a question of will we be arrogant enough to go for the stone to prove that we could lift the stone?
I think
Actually,
That actually makes perfect sense.
as much as that makes sense, I could also see it playing on us being arrogant enough to choose the feather, believing that to be the lighter object.
Trying to go the easy way out. Although it looked like he struggled with the rock, so maybe it's because he prepped before, or...
Well, no. I think trying to prep was smart, but I think that it just wasn't in his favor.
he might have been overthinking it.
I bet.
Why?
All right.
Why don't we do this? Let us, those of us who are willing to be the champion for this trial, go ahead and put yourself forward and
Okay.
let the group choose. And from there, why don't we see if we can figure out which is the path of humility for us, attempting to bear the stone or attempting to bear the feather.
I'll take your theory. Fair enough.
All right.
Okay.
So does that mean that, say, the first person who goes up doesn't succeed, then we'll choose the other one?
If they're still willing, I suppose so.
It doesn't seem like there's any other option than to go forward.
No, there isn't.
Okay, well, I'll go up.
Oh, you don't want me to go? You want to go? Huh?
If you want to go.
Okay. Christina.
Yes.
Between Vince and Lottie, who do you think would be a good champion for this test? Our second attempt at it.
She looks both of them over somewhat critically.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go to the dishes, so I'm listening. Just give me a sec.
Okay.
And Lottie is small, right?
Yeah, she's like 5'6", lanky.
Okay. And what is Vincent's physique?
He is 6 foot even. Healthy, average weight man.
Mm-hmm. Okay. She like taps her finger on her lip, and she'll say, "I think Lottie would be the more unlikely champion in this situation, so maybe she should be the one to try."
Okay, sure.
Do you are you comfortable with that, Vincent?
I mean, I trust you guys. I mean, there's no reason why I should stop now.
On the side note, I trust you guys. Famous last
she's just more about thinking outside the box at this point. Like, maybe instead of choosing the obvious choice between the two, we should go with the not quite so obvious choice between the two.
Makes sense.
So, and she'll explain that too if.
Yeah, for a test of strength, he was the obvious choice.
Christina nods.
So, okay.
I am still here. I'm just at the dishes. I heard you guys. Don't worry. Lottie will throw up a thumbs up after hearing that she's the unlikely choice, and she's just like, "Damn, Skippy."
So,
and that was there was no disrespect or anything in that. It was just more of a, let's try and go with the more, thinking outside the box thinking in that theme.
Lottie's avatar is literally the goddess of chaos.
Oh,
She's all
there we go.
Awesome.
So, Lottie. You said you also thought that you could see the feather being the heavier of the two objects based on
arrogance. Or coming in with not really arrogance per se, but trying the easy way out.
Yeah.
Is how I would see it. I think maybe sending Musclehead Dude a little arrogant. Good job. Oh, so nice.
It's like that old game, where you have a relay race, and at the end of the lane, you have a choice between a feather and a brick. And the obvious choice is to always choose the feather. But your teammate will occasionally sabotage you by tossing a brick in the back.
Why would they do that? What the hell?
Sounds mean.
Well, when I did it, it was a setup that was meant to teach about emotional baggage and the humility in asking forgiveness.
I thought, I guess what would make more sense in a real alias is that if there's a choice between a feather and a brick, you could hold the feather, but your teammate's going to be farther away than if you grab the brick.
Mm-hmm.
Or that if you held the feather, then if you held the brick, then your teammate had the choice of picking up the feather. On the off chance that maybe they were more tired than you, or they had a longer distance to run. So you'd be taking it so that they wouldn't have to hold the burden, or taking it because you knew you would be better for the burden than them.
So...
But I didn't go to, relay races at school.
Lottie, are you willing to take this burden on for us? So we don't have to?
Yeah. Yeah. I will take this burden on so that you guys don't have to. And if I fail, then I am very sorry. And it's been cool.
If you fail, we might be able to find a way to save you and Peter.
Then my failure wouldn't come as a loss. So, there's some light at the end of the rainbow? Or is it silver lining in the clouds? So, having said that, Lottie will kind of unplug her headphones out from her Walkman, kind of put her stuff in her pockets on the off chance she falls, just like Peter did, so that it doesn't get squished. If they bring her back, she would like, her stuff to be cool too. And she will step up between the items and then make her way towards the rock. Kind of wrap her arms around the rock and do her best to lift it up so that the others wouldn't have to.
You're also going to have to make me a strength athletics roll at a difficulty of, but Lottie's strength is not 5.
No, Lottie's strength is 3.
Yes, so you're going to have to make it a difficulty 9 with a threshold of 2 successes.
Alright.
No. Okay.
That's it. You said strength athletics? Give me a second to finish this 1 sec.
The threshold of 2 successes. On the bright side, though, isn't it a pretty feather?
It is a very pretty feather.
Sometimes you just need a pretty feather.
I am now back in my room. Strength 3, athletics 2. Can I burn willpower?
Yes, you can.
Burn 2 willpower for this shit.
You can only burn 1.
Damn. Alright, 1 willpower. Fingers crossed. Oh, nice.
Lottie shakily, very, very shakily manages to hoist the stone and places on her back. She will begin to trudge very slowly up the circular steps. You will get about a third of the way there before you have to make me another roll. The exact same pool.
Okay. Can I burn another willpower? Gotta pull a 5.
Yes, you can.
Alright. Slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady means you don't have to die. Sometimes.
Oh. Lottie will fall. Unfortunate. The rock crushes her, and she will disappear into the same stagnant black smoke.
Her last words were "fuck." Back.
Damn it.
Back.
If it helps, both of you find both Lottie and Peter find yourselves kind of suspended in a void. Literally, you're just kind of hanging in the darkness.
Do we see each other or?
Yes, you're kind of hanging together.
Oh, yay!
Hey,
He smiles. Oh, okay, so I'm not alone anymore. That's nice.
What happened?
Wait. Would her Walkman work in the void?
No.
Damn! That's the true heart. She goes to turn it on, finds silence, and screams into the void. No!
Oh,
Deep, heart-wrenching cry.
Oh, she failed. Damn.
You guys also see, just for the record, so I can kind of keep this going, you will also see a being who is sitting cross-legged about 100, no, less, about 30 feet from you guys. He's sitting cross-legged, kind of floating in the void. There are 5 hourglasses that are seated right next to him, though he has moved 2 of them from the right to the left because their sand has run out.
Bro, where the hell were you when I needed you?
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Right. We return to our collective gathering.
That's kind of awful.
All right.
May I, China?
If you would like.
That'd be
Certainly.
All right. So, Vince, you will step forward.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
Okay.
Obviously, the rock reappears on the plinth right where it was.
I assumed as much. This is what I'll try. I'm going to try to use some creative magic. First off. What type of ground are we using?
What type of ground are you standing on? It's kind of large paving stone, like large kind of blocks of what appear to be marble.
How does it appear in the spirit world?
It's made of spiritual ephemera.
Okay. So to affect this, I would need spirit, correct?
Correct.
I'm going to try to make 2 spiritual concrete golems to help me carry the burden.
Okay. I do like Mike's new picture. Sorry, that abuses the crap out of me.
It does.
What?
That's amusing.
Just look at his current picture on any cat. It's fucking funny.
All right. As a tool, I am using for his spirit. He's going to start. He will bite the edge of his thumb enough to like break the skin, and start drawing sigils on the floor. And then I will roll my arte.
Okay.
What diff am I working with?
Difficulty 6. So, yes.
So with my tool, that's 5. And I'm going to spend 2 points of quint to lower it to 3.
Okay.
Spending a point of willpower.
This is a really big effect, so you're going to need a lot of successes. Like, we're talking like 8 or 9 just to kick off the effect.
That's fun. It's just going to take a while. Just have to roll a few times.
Remember the cumulative +1 difficulty for every roll after the first.
That's why I started with 3, so we can just hike our way up.
Right? Always a good idea.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. With the willpower makes 5. May I keep casting?
Yeah, by all means.
Okay. Another 2 points of quench and 1 more point of willpower. Don't worry, I am keeping track.
That's fine.
That's another 4 successes.
Cool, keep going.
We'll spend the quint, but not spending the willpower. So we're working with difficulty 4 now. One, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. 2 human-ish figures appear from the ground behind you, or rather on either side of you, and they will attempt to reach for the rock. At which point
I will go with them. It's not like I'm saying to go do it. He's going to help.
At which point you will see the rock quadruple in size.
Fair.
So we're gonna make some rolls, Jim. I will roll for golem friends. We'll assume they have a strength of 4 and an athletics of 2, because that's fair. So basically, it's going to be a difficulty 9. You're going to need a total of 5 successes between you and the golems to lift this thing.
Okay.
So.
You're kind of breaking up there, bud.
1 second. There we go. Sorry about that. The first golem gets 2 successes.
Okay.
Then the second one gets
3 successes for me.
Second one.
3 successes for me. The second one looks like he failed.
Yep. So unfortunately, you guys will attempt to lift this absolutely massive stone at this point, but one of the golem's legs will give way beneath it and the stone will come crashing to the ground. At least you don't get the ignominy of it falling on you. But
no, we made it though, Evan. You said 5 successes.
I changed it to 7. I said, but said 5 was actually not going to be sufficient. I said it needs to be 7.
My mistake.
My apologies. I may have been breaking up at the time.
That is fair.
But yes, so you at least will not get the ignominy of the thing falling on you, but you will in fact find yourself in the void.
Ooh. Hey, Vincent!
When Peter sees the new arrival, he starts to get a kind of like worried look on his face and looks at the other two, and this is not going according to plan.
Nope, it's not.
You will see the seated figure very calmly pick up one of the hourglasses in which the sand has run out and move it to the left-hand side of him. That's not ominous at all.
So it appears the stone.
Should we try the feather?
I was about to suggest that.
I think
maybe I should go try the feather.
I think we should be humble enough to admit that the feather may be the lighter option here, and our assumptions were incorrect.
Of course. feathers are just as important.
All right,
Yes.
Lindsay, do you step forward? Because you're the only one who can champion left.
Yep, sure do.
Wait,
Or-
why is she the only one who can champion?
Because I've
Heather's
already
did.
championed.
Because
Oh, yes,
Anna,
that's
yeah,
true, sorry,
because Anna
sorry.
already did, so
Yeah, we
Christina's the only
failed,
one that
so.
can.
All
So yeah,
right.
she will.
So you will step forward. Do you pick up the feather?
Yes.
Guess what?
What?
It weighs as much as a feather.
Gee, how about that?
You'll kind of hear echoed on the breeze. Sometimes sometimes the obvious is indeed the correct path.
It's like
The three people in the void learned that the hard way.
Yep.
and Christina's like, well, you know, I have a familiar who is being made of these things, so.
To be fair, your familiar is made of alcoholism and sass.
Okay, that's fair.
I should have
That's fair.
fucking play him.
I
But yeah,
know.
Christina, you'll be able to take feather and just calmly walk up the spiral staircase.
Yeah, which she absolutely does, shaking her goddamn head like, oh my god.
As you reach the top, you will see the moon goddess is kind of standing, looking over the edge, with a kind of a look on her face that says, "Well, I wish I could tell you I wasn't expecting this." Now, it would appear as though you've lost 3 of your companions.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
They are dead. You know that, right? Very calmly.
Christina closes her eyes and nods. Yes.
However, we are not without mercy here. So, there is an option that is as yet available to you.
I would love to hear it.
If you are willing to sacrifice one of your pearls, we will allow you to bring back your 3 friends.
Christina will look to Anna.
By the way, when Vince disappeared, the pearls popped to you both. I don't really care which order they came in, but they popped away.
Okay.
Because wouldn't that be great? You reach into the pocket, you reach into your pocket to pay the bill, only to find out the dead guy has your fucking pearls.
I know, right? Like, fuck. I honestly think that that's not a bad trade. We have one less chance to ask for help, but we get our friends back.
Do you concur?
I do.
Then who will you abandon? Will you abandon the strength of Pigsy, the surety of Sandy, or the wisdom of Trepataka?
Well, I would say the strength of Pigsy probably would have come in handy in this situation.
There are many kinds of strength. Just because one cannot necessarily move a mountain does not make you less strong.
That is true. I'll look to Anna. It's a tough choice.
Well, it's a difficult choice because these three were the closest companions of Sun Wukong at one point. Some of them still are.
Yep. I meant it was tough. It's difficult to choose between which three to give up. There's no question that we're going to bring back the ones we've lost. But which one do we want to give up for their help?
I think perhaps maybe it should be Pigsy. Pigsy's Pearl.
Oh no! Sorry. You almost hear the crowd on the wind.
Christina will nod and okay. I think we've made our choice then.
Oh, you're abandoning Pixie.
Or Pig.
Sniff. The goddess will take the pearl in her hand, and you will see the pearl shatter, and you will hear, carried on the wind, I'm sure that you guys will do it anyway. You didn't need Pixie to begin with.
Christina like half smiles and like kind of tears up though because it's like, oh, like damn it.
Pulling heartstrings here, Evan.
You guys in the void will see the figure turn its head, kind of contemplate for a moment before the hourglasses that each represent you refill and are put back where they were originally. At which point you are falling for a brief few moments before plop, plop, plop. You find yourself on top at the top of a room with your companions in front of a large jade door.
Sup, sexy? Ow.
So Christina breathes a giant sigh of relief, like, oh god.
Peter will stand up and like dust himself off, and then look at the other two and smile gratefully, nodding his thank you.
How? Why? What'd you do?
Ow.
Well,
what'd you do?
I carried the feather to the top of the stairs.
So I was right. God damn it.
And
rock is a rock, feather is a feather.
We and then we sacrificed one of the pearls to save you.
Ooh.
And his bow of gratitude gets a little bit deeper still. Thank you for that.
Who you give up for us?
Pigsy.
Ooh. Alright.
Yeah. It was tough. It took us a little bit to decide, but we knew that we had to bring you back.
Yeah.
There was no question about that.
Are you going to point out to them the fact that they were actually dead?
Yeah, you do realize that you were dead. Like you weren't going to come back from that.
Yeah, I think when my chest cavity got shattered because my rib cage kind of.
What?
Christina will just nod, like yeah, like.
I'm reminded of that line from. I'm reminded of that line from what's it from Ahmed the Dead Terrorist. What was the last thing that goes to your mind? My ass.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's great.
Jingle bombs. Yeah.
On the bright side, I now have some things in perspective. So hey, little death, final death.
We now know that death is not in fact final.
Not always. But often.
It's just cuddle her Walkman. I'm never letting you go again, honey.
No.
Alright, so.
Walkman, actually, no. Should I be that bitch and say the Walkman didn't return from the void?
They don't make them anymore.
Oh, no, let Lottie keep her Walkman, damn it.
There's a reason why she's got them there as a data. She fixes that Walkman. She knows they don't make it anymore.
Oh no.
Alright, you can keep the Walkman.
Oh, thank you.
No.
Yay. Good.
At the last test, you will see the doors in front of you open again. And you are standing in a beautiful room that is designed to look as if it is designed to look as if you are stepping into a garden. So there is a deep lake or a deep lagoon at the center, surrounded by high trees. Though high above you, you can see the fact that there is no sun gleaming in. It is all enclosed, an enclosed space.
What are the
You will
trees?
see. Beg your pardon?
Are there trees?
Yes, there are trees.
What kind of trees? Like I'm wondering if this is like the peach garden.
No. They don't appear to have any fruit on them whatsoever, but they do appear to have sweet-smelling flowers. They will be cherry blossom trees.
Nice.
But you will then see seated in the center of the garden, etc., is this rather elderly-looking woman. Her eyes are closed, and she's rocking back and forth in what looks to be absolute agony. Though she doesn't scream. There's no noise. And the goddess the goddess Shinji, who's walking with you, or Chinji, very calmly says, I contemplate something. This is the last test. The test of charity. This is Shen Shihuan Chuti. Evan had to pronounce that from the original Chinese. That was not fun.
Props to Evan. Props to Evan.
That was great.
She was the first concubine of the Qin Emperor, the man who unified China. However, she deigned in her mortal life to love another, and so, as the representative of heaven on earth, he cursed her to know every affliction that mankind could suffer. And because he was the son of heaven, his will was carried out via heaven. Do you understand what that means?
No, it's
constant torment.
Of every affliction known to man. Because one man's vanity when he held the seat of the Dragon Emperor. So, the question is simple. Would you take some of her pain onto yourself? This is not a simple matter of, I will shoulder this burden now. This is a simple matter of, will you shoulder this burden always?
absolutely.
This is not a test for one of you. This is a test for you all. And what would you take onto yourselves?
What is she suffering from?
Everything.
Everything.
So how do you?
Hmm?
I mean, like what could we?
Will you take from her blindness? Will you take from her the inability to scream? Will you take from her the pains? Will you take from her this or that? You merely need to say, and you may take it onto yourself to help share the burden, even only slightly.
I'll take the blindness.
I will take the inability to scream.
She looks. Are you both certain?
Yes.
Lottie, By the way, when you said they would essentially strike you mute. I just want you to know
really?
that. Yeah, they would essentially strike you mute.
Okay, so it's mute, blindness. What are the other two?
Oh, there's anything you can possibly think of. Like, literally, she has everything. So if you want to take the arthritis, for God's sake, you can. I don't care. For the record, this is a really tragic, real legend from China that the first emperor cursed his favorite concubine to endure all the ills and afflictions that occurred to humanity under heaven. So she was forced to spend the rest of eternity suffering every disease, malady, and pain humanity could feel because he was a dick.
Is Christina will look and say, is there any way that the curse could be broken or that she could be healed?
Hmm. Hmm. The Emperor's word in these matters is final. The Emperor can never be contradicted, even by another individual whom has his throne. So, anything is possible, but you would need to find the one who bears the current mandate of heaven in order to speak upon the matter so that he could come up with some clever wordplay so that her suffering could be abated.
Maybe an addendum to timing.
Yes.
She suffered what? First, that's a couple thousand years.
Yes. An existence of nothing but pain.
This is so wrong.
Yes. As I said, would you take on her sadness, take on her burden, or end the burden?
Well, I happen to have something that might help work. She takes something out of her pocket. She always carries it with her. And it is a pearl, a different one than the ones that everyone was given.
Oh, that's smart.
It is the Pearl of Yggdrasil.
I remember this. I wrote that down.
You did. I have a seed from the world tree, and it can heal any affliction.
You would be willing to part with such a mighty gift so that one whom you do not know could be saved suffering.
Yes. She has suffered for long enough. And if this is what I need to do to help end her suffering, so be it. I have other ways to heal people.
The goddess looks at you. Qingqi looks at you, and she smiles and she says, she kind of beckons you on. As in, go, do the thing.
She will go approach her and place the pearl on her forehead.
The pearl is consumed into her, as in it's eaten into the skin.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a moment of nothing happens. The woman continues to shake, to shudder, to silently scream, before she will go entirely rigid. Her body racked no more via ceaseless spasms and wordless pain. Before she will lay back in the grass, her eyes flutter open. As I said, she is impossibly old. You know, she is impossibly decrepit at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And she will say a phrase in Chinese. She'll say, once again, my Chinese pronunciation is terrible. I apologize in advance. Shang che chu che, Na shunche akun chunchewa. Before her eyes will close, and she will move no more. You will see her give out her last breath. Sometimes suffering, the end of which is stillness. Though she did say that after so long in the darkness, that you had brought her to the light.
She will, she'll get down and take her in her arms and kiss her forehead. I'm glad that I could help.
Behold what is the hubris of man when man is given power. Sometimes it's very sad.
Yes.
Indeed it is. When Christina comes back to the group, Lottie will give her a hug.
Yeah, she'll hug her. She's crying. This is really fucking emotional.
There are tissues being passed by.
You will see where she is on the island when Christina leaves. The island itself sinks into the clear water of the lagoon, and where the island was, a beautiful, perfect, huge lotus flower will bloom.
Aww.
Is she free?
She is.
Yes.
That's good.
You freed her from an eternity. Or rather, you did not. You caused her to no longer feel the pain, and the pain that was all that was keeping her here. So even that one moment free was enough for her to make the conscious choice to go.
I'm glad in the end she was able to retain that agency. You're right about the hubris.
Shinji looks at you and she says, "But yet it is often your kind who are guilty of the most hubris."
It is very much so.
Yeah.
We must do our best to constantly be aware, be humbled, to think that our actions will affect others.
Body to us is different from body to you. It is not about being the strongest. It is about the integrity of the self. It is about the showing of compassion, the knowledge, and the forthright thinking to be in and of oneself, the balancing of light and darkness, the four humors. In this, you have passed the test of body. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I will not be the one to be giving you the next examination, the test of mind. That shall be Shi Chi Chen Wang, he who knows 10,000 things. He is not as forgiving as I am. I will give you due warning.
No.
On a side note, Lottie, you know that name.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I know that guy! Lottie has the look of just like, I know that guy! And then her look will stop. She'll be like, oh god, I know that guy.
I was going to say, he was a Durgan. You met that Durgan.
Yes! Alir! Eris.
I was going to say, you went and took a dip in his fountain of knowledge. That was a thing.
Yep.
I remember that.
He was awesome. She does not think he'll be as awesome next time.
So now Lottie knows all the things.
She will take from around her neck a single jade key, and she will hold it out to the group for one of you to take.
Lottie will take it, if no one else.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go on.
And she will
accept
say,
it with a bow.
"This is the lock to one of the 4 doors. You have earned it well." And she will then kiss each of you on the forehead. Bring back.
Bow respectfully.
Sorry, what was that, Maya?
I was just saying that when she kisses his forehead, Peter will bow in respect.
Okay, and what were you saying, Maya?
Oh, nothing. I was trying to mute myself.
Okay. She will say, "Bring back my friend, and bring back the balance. Because even now the world is slipping. Even now I feel it. What is order is coming for what is not. And what is structured will someday wipe away the magic and the vision. This is not good for humanity.
No.
A humanity without hope is not humanity at all.
We shall do it. Or as you can see, die trying. The world needs the Monkey King.
Alright, with that, we shall end our scene. You shall be returned home. And thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another scene of Darkness in Dublin where feathers, yo. Sometimes it's just a fucking feather.